Hey there, YouTube. Thanks again for joining me for another session of Stellaris, a Paradox Interactive game. Today I wanted to talk to you about how to build an empire, a custom one that you'll see from time to time in every game that you play from now on. So let's go ahead and get into it. Go ahead and hit New Game again. And you might have seen this before on the last episode, but I have made several different empires to play. So you're going to have lots of different options. Really depends on the kind of personality you want to build for your empire. So in order to create one for yourself, you have to hit the new create new up here in the top. And hit select. So it's going to pop you up right to kind of just the bare minimums of what a normal empire would be. I prefer to start right at the very top, which is appearances. So you have to actually click that. I don't know why they don't necessarily do that specifically, but that's kind of how it is right now. So you're going to have purely aesthetics here, just your basics of what you are really looking to have your human or your empire look like. So you're gonna have mammals, you're gonna have reptiles, birds. These are like an insectoid kind of thing, and these guys just kind of your like I think I don't know how you want to call it. Like they're just kind of random ones. Maybe like underwater, I guess you could say. And then the fungus. Funguses are really cool because they have like ones that just are another race, but they've been infected by the fungus, and so they're kind of doing the thing. So let's see. How about I like this guy. He's the mushroom. He looks happy. He looks friendly. It's all good. So we're gonna just hit that. So hit next. Then you'll be able to name them. You can honestly do any name you want. Cool little feature here is if let's say you put Stuve TV and you didn't really know what the adjective is for it, you can just hit that. In this situation, it's gonna be the same thing, but and we'll just say Stuve TVs. Ooh, plural. And for this, you're just gonna go with you can go with any of them. It doesn't necessarily matter if you have one that specifically you prefer. If you want to have a human name for your mushroom people or whatever you might make, you can do that too. I tend to just kind of go with what my specific race might be. So fungus, and it's really up to you. Each one is going to have several options, and the more you click on each one, it will give you different ones for each one. And again, it's just purely aesthetics there. So this is your first big option here. So you're gonna need to pick what kind of racial traits you're gonna want for your people. And for racial traits, it's really dependent on how you want to run your society. So if you want to have higher outputs for each of your technologies and then just kind of like go faster and faster and get stronger and stronger technologies, intelligent is a really good one. There's also ones that are a little bit better. They're 15% as opposed to just 10% all around, but they only cost 1 point. So in this you have 2 points just as a base. So if I chose that, I'll have a 0, but I can choose more, but in order to do so, I need to pick negative traits. So non-adaptive means that I'm not very good at going to other continents other than my home. So, or other not continents, but other worlds other than my own. So it's hard for me to really get around. And there's like slow breeder, which changes kind of you're not able to breed or to have your planets grow as quickly. Slow learner, your leaders gain less experience over time. Weak, your army damage doesn't. You're not able to do as much damage on the world. it wouldn't be your ships. It's just your people versus other people when they either you get invaded or you have other people, or you're invading them. This is actually not a bad one to pick, and I'll tell you why later. But um, so sedentary, you migrate less. Solitary, you're less happy when you're with other people. Repugnant, other species don't really like you. You're not the most uh, the nicest of person, or you don't look very good, stuff like that. So I'm gonna go with repugnant because I mean mushroom probably don't smell the best. These choices also do negate other ones that would make it kind of irrelevant, like charismatic. So that's the opposite of repugnant, and you're so you can't have one. Yeah, you either have to pick one or the other. Um, so let's go ahead and pick. We're gonna have like smart mushrooms here, so we're gonna pick that they are really good physicists. And so you can pick one more trait, but not really. You only have the 5 points total, and we've currently done 4. So you could do one more bad trait, but you wouldn't be doing yourself any favors there, and you can't pick another one. So kind of you only have the 5 points to really spend. So next, you're gonna choose your ruler and do male or female for mushroom people. Doesn't necessarily matter, just kind of changes the color. So then we're just gonna go with a random name there. You can also change the color of the top, which is kind of fun. It's very dependent on each one of them. This is a very cool little feature here. This is going to be what type of planet you're looking for out there in the world. So you can choose any of them. They don't have anything specific that makes it really good or really bad. It's really just these are the kind of worlds that you would call home. So I'm gonna go with tropical. The cool thing about this is, so if you find a tropical world, and you're gonna be pretty good at adapting to another tropical world, but let's say it's not the best fit. It's, your home planet is very kind of a humid place, whereas the next one might be a little less humid. So they as a standard, your home world is going to be 100% habitability, whereas the other ones, other places you find, maybe it smells, maybe it has something else that makes it like really really bad animals. So you can only have 80% habitability in the rest of the world. Now, once you find other planets, such as like continental worlds and a desert world, it's a little weird, but essentially, if you're right next to the other two planets, you have another step down, so 20% less. So you have 60% habitability in a continental world and the desert world. And then the next step would be ocean worlds and arid worlds. So that's again going to be another 20% less, so 40% for those. And then these ones, you're just going to have like a 20%. It's honestly, you're not doing yourself many favors by populating these kind of worlds if you are a tropical. But it could be the other way, so. And then we're just going to do that. Random is fine. I am, again, kind of OCD about these sort of things, so I'm just going to go with a fungaloid city, because I am a fungus. Alright, and this is the next one that is going to kind of very much change a lot of the gameplay for you. So, if you are all about war and whatnot, militaristic is going to be a good one. If you're more about just being passive and kind of just doing your own thing, pacifist. Materialistic, they're going to have a lot more, research kind of things like that, whereas there's the spiritual side of that. Collectivist is more about you're all about the population as a whole, as opposed to the individualist, which is all about the self. And then there's the xenophobe, which means you don't like other alien species, or the xenophile, which means you love all types of alien species. So for this one, we're gonna go with a collectivist, because you're fungus. Fungus are all about being together as a whole. And there's also the higher versions of that. So if you wanted to be a fanatic collectivist, you can do that too. So you only get 3 ethic points, and the outer rim costs 2, but they do give slightly better benefits. And the inner rim, or the inner sanctum, I guess you could call it, is going to have the just 1 each. So you could do 3, or you could do 1 and another 1, something like that. So we're going to be a fungus, we're going to be fanatic collectivists, and we're going to be a xenophile. So we're going to love all aliens, but we're going to want everybody to join in. Now, another interesting fact about this is when you choose these, it also changes what kind of government you can do. So for this particular type, where I'm a xenophile and I'm a fanatic collectivist, I only have one type of government that I can choose, which is the Despotic Empire. Now, it's not necessarily the worst thing in the world, but you can, so in that situation with this particular government size, I can create an oversized military station. My building costs are 15% less. My output by slaves is plus 10%, and the slave output is by 10%. So this is more of a with the collectivist, slave tolerance is a lot better. They don't necessarily care if you have them, and everybody is just kind of, it's all for the betterment of the population in that situation. So that's the only choice. So I have to go that one, and then we're just gonna centralize Stuv TV nations. I kind of like that. We're gonna go with that. And then this is gonna be how your flag looks right here. We're gonna go with, let's see, so there's lots of options. There's zoological, round, pointy, pirate, ornate, human, blocky. Each one, it's just aesthetic again, so it doesn't necessarily matter. We're gonna go, I need a fungus one. That's kind of fungi-like, right? Alright, and then this is just the background, so we'll go with that. And I have a mod that makes it so you can get lots of other colors, so this might look a little different for you. But we're going to go with that one and that one. Why not? This one is just what kind of starting weapons you want to have. Energy, projectile, or missiles. Missiles are really good. So we're going to have warp, hyperspace travel, or wormhole. Wormhole is considered more advanced. It is also very fun once you get the hang of it. For the purpose of this, we're just going to go with a warp travel, though. And this is just, how do you want your ships to look? Doesn't necessarily matter specifically. Each one just kind of has its own little look about it. I'm, again, stickler for detail, so I'm going to stick with the fungaloid ships. And that's it. So, after you're done with that, you go ahead and hit the save button. And centralized Stuv TV nations have successfully been saved. So the cool thing about this, so just to kind of go back, it's going to send you to the game details, which then you get into the actual game. The cool thing about this, though, is, so now you can see that I have the centralized Stuv TV nations here. So you get a empire spawning allowed. So whenever you're going to play another game, let's say you're not going to be playing as the Stuv TV nations, you're going to play the Pengu Collective, right? There's a chance that while you're playing your game, you are going to meet your other character in the game. They're going to actually play as one of the AI. And I find that to be amazing, super awesome, very fun. So it's a pretty cool little concept there. I hope they keep that around and they maybe expand upon it. It's definitely a really cool concept. And there you have it. That is how to create a character on Stellaris. Thank you for joining me today. If you like what you saw, feel free to hit the like button down below. I'd love to hear some comments. If anybody has any questions or something specific that they'd like to see in a video format, I'm more than happy to do that. If you like what you see today and hopefully you want to see more of it in the future, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Thanks.